Welcome to The Rundown, everybody, a show in partnership with TYT Sports and thepostgame.com. Today I'll be hanging out with Victor Chi, the managing editor of thepostgame.com, Francis Maxwell, you know him from TYT Sports and Stylog, and David Katz, the founder of The Postgame. I am Jason Rubin. So the All-Star Game is unveiling signature release sneakers. And we have a quick video we're going to throw to you from Jacques Slade over at thepostgame.com. Let's take a look.
Thanks, guys. Now, All-Star Weekend is always crazy, from the dunk contest to the actual All-Star Game, but one thing you might want to start checking out is the shoes. From Jordan to Adidas to Nike, all the big players will have shoes created specifically for the game. On Nike's roster, we have Kevin Durant, who will wear the KD7. LeBron James will be in the LeBron 12, and Kyrie Irving will be in the Kyrie 1. Now, Kobe actually has an All-Star version of his shoe, the Kobe 10, but I doubt we'll see it on the court because he's injured and he's not playing in the game. Of course, Jordan has the Jordan 29 for Russell Westbrook, Melo M11 for Carmelo Anthony, and then we have the CP3 8 for Chris Paul. Now, all of the Jordan shoes are pearl, not white, and were created for the All-Star Game to celebrate Jordan Brand's 30th anniversary. Now, Adidas also hooked up John Wall on his signature shoe, the J-Wall 1. He was voted a starter earlier this year for the Eastern team, so it's only right that he gets a special shoe. Now, that leaves us with the one and only Steph Curry from Golden State. He'll be starting the game as well, and Under Armour gave him a Dark Matter Curry 1 to celebrate the weekend. Now, of course, there are going to be a ton of more sneakers that are just going to be popping up everywhere over All-Star Weekend, but these are definitely the main ones you want to see on the court. All right, guys, back to you.
Well, all right, thanks, Jacques, so much for running us down through the sneakers. Unlike the Christmas Day uniforms, which were an atrocity, these, on the other hand, are pretty damn awesome. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have any favorites, but Victor, let's start with you, and we can run through these the pictures, the still images as we go. Which one of these is your favorite, and which one of these would you never be caught dead wearing?
Well, a lot of these have a lot of different flair to them, and I actually like the Steph Curry shoe from Under Armour. In and of itself, is a very bold shoe. And secondly, I just like the fact that Under Armour is kind of the underdog in recent years, with Nike and Adidas being established. It's sort of like backing a third-party candidate, shake things up a little bit, and just have a new player in the game. And ultimately, when there's more choices, the consumer benefits. And in this case, the consumer's the fan, and when they have more choices available to them, it's all good.
I'll tell you, Victor, I love that Under Armour is working with Steph Curry, because I actually think he is a terrific talent for their brand. And I think he's a very likable kid who's got tremendous skills. And I'm from Baltimore, and I'm a big Under Armour fan. But I got to tell you, that is the worst color combination I have seen on a shoe. And of all the shoes I've seen there, it certainly stands out, which I think is part of the strategy. But this is not the kind of thing that I think everyone's going to run out and say, I need to get that version of it. Yeah. That said, they do a lot of really cool things, and a lot of things that people find ugly, like the Maryland uniforms, I find beautiful and gorgeous. This one just, I think, is a little off the mark.
It's one of the few shoes that actually has color on it. Compared to the, I'm sorry, I was going to say white, but Jordan Brand will be very upset with me.
Pearl.
Pearl. Francis, our style.
Kyrie Irving shoes, definitely, because yeah, I love the Nike Roches, and they look like a combination of Nike Roches with an actual like basketball bottom on them, because the Roches for me are very lightweight and they look kind of fashionable. And for me, I like basketball shoes, but I've got this single opinion that I think basketball shoes should be kept on the court. I don't like seeing them out as much, especially partnered with outfits, but I think I could wear those. Like, I could definitely fit those into my outfit. So out of those, if I was have to be pinned down and have to put on, Kyrie Irving's would be mine.
All right, so Kyrie Irving's your go-to. David, I know you mentioned that you don't like Chef Curry's.
Right. Yes, I do like the Jordan Brand, the pearl colored. I think they're understated. I think they're elegant. I think they look good, and I actually think you could wear them out. Those are the one set of shoes that you could wear out socially off the court, because they're really, really beautiful and fashionable. I do like Kobe's, though. I think Kobe's, and it's a shame we're not going to see him, but I think Kobe is a very sharp shoe. But let's be honest, like, people are not really tuning in to the All-Star Game anymore to see the players and everything. A lot of people are tuning in to see the shoes. So I think, since the shoe companies dominate the NBA in so many ways, they ought to leave the players in the locker room, and when they do the player announcements, they ought to have the shoes be announced, and have the shoes just come out
by themselves
on a Segway, on a little trolley of some sort. But let's just bring the shoes out, because they're really the stars of this game.
I couldn't agree more with that. That would be an amazing way to maybe get the Atlanta Hawks choir to introduce the shoes, not even the players, just the shoes.
So I want to ask a question about the different brands, right? So you have one Adidas brand there, right? You have one shoe. So does Nike dominate the market then?
Nike and Jordan have been dominating. Jordan started this whole shoe domination of the NBA.
Which is interesting for me because it's different. Obviously, a big soccer fan. Adidas still dominate the market. They both have amazing players on both sides. You have Messi on one side and Ronaldo. They're the competitors. But for me, basketball, there is different factors that come into it. Comfort, lightweight. I'm just surprised I only see one Adidas shoe out there because they're definitely, in soccer terms and in American football terms now, they create very lightweight shoes. And I would imagine that would be a big factor.
Speaking of Adidas, and let's see John Wall's shoe real quick because that was personally my favorite out of the list. But one of them that's not mentioned is Damian Lillard, who got all-star reserve spot and now is in the game itself. But yeah, so those are John Wall's, and Damian Lillard's are actually very similar to those. They have more black in it with the, not pearl, white for Adidas. It could be Adidas if I'm correct.
That's not absolutely anywhere
absolutely
near.
not.
But fine, it's like me saying Nike. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I'm just going to say it to annoy people.
Anyway, okay, then I'll say Adidas wrong. But I'm going to do some throwbacks here real quick to mention, which is the Kobe 2s. If you guys remember Hang Time at the Getty, I have the poster in my home. Beautiful white, not pearl. Calm down, Nike. Or Nike, as Francis would say.
Yeah.
The Kobe 2s and the Melo 11s from when he was back on Denver. Those were beautiful, beautiful shoes. But again, for keeping these shoes on the court, they've become a fashion trend. They've become huge. They've also become unaffordable. These shoes run for $250, $275 sometimes. And when they're a signature release, color-coded for one specific game, it's just going to skyrocket the price. So again, any final thoughts regarding sneakers for the All-Star game, gentlemen?
Well, just to follow up on what David said, how the shoe has become the star. I remember back in the 80s, even before Jordan made a big splash, the big deal was like, ooh, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson have done a shoe commercial together.
Oh, that's right.
And that, like, now it's commonplace. But at the time, it's like, how can these guys on the Lakers and the Celtics, they hate each other.
Rival teams, of
and
course.
they're going to sell shoes together? That was a big moment at the time, and now you think nothing of it.
And now, of course, now we see all of these players in the same commercials representing their specific shoes, because there's not a day we're watching an NBA game where there's no Nike, Adidas, Under Armour commercial that rolls featuring the shoes of the players that you see. Guys, what do you think? What was your favorite shoe? Leave it in the comments section below. Give us some throwbacks. What's your favorite NBA shoe of all time? That's almost impossible.
The original Air Jordan.
The original?
Black, red, white.
I even know about those.
Unbelievable.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's
classic.
pearl, David. It's pearl.
Pearl.
Thank you. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to TYT Sports and make sure to go check out thepostgame.com for awesome content regarding anything related to NBA, NFL, sports, soccer, whatever it may be. Check it out.